Good evening, everyone. My name is Stanisław Frejlak. I'm one Dan professional from Poland. This is my first time in London, so I'm happy to see this city. I see. So I think maybe the most of Dan players, but not sure.
Tough audience.
Yeah, I see. I thought that today I will talk about extensions, how to extend properly. And the most basic thing which you ever learn about the extensions is that when you have a stone at the side and you want to help it, then you should extend to space. Like this, you are strong and your opponent cannot split you. If they try, you will manage to connect all of your stones. Thanks to the proximity of the side. And a good example of such a situation is, I guess, this one. The stone needs help because black has just approached, and white can think where to extend, and extending further would be too risky. Black goes in, white stones get separated, white might try to connect them, and maybe even white can manage, but the price would be just very big. If it means that we lose a stone, we give away a big influence to black, then it's not worth it. And that's why from one stone we extend to space. And then another rule which we always learn at the school when we learn about Go is that when we have two stones, then we can already go further. Why is it so? Why can we extend three space? Because now if black wants to split us, we can just attach to this stone and our stones will stay connected. Similarly, if we play on the fourth line, our stones will stay connected. Alright, so what is more to this story? This is a Joseki. And maybe it's a good time for black to add a move to the group on the top. Otherwise, white might attack it. So, where would you play?
3-10.
Okay, 3-10, yes. Yeah. So, we have maybe not just one stone, maybe two stones. So, we might even think of playing further. But there is a weakness in our shape. So, such a move might be maybe a bit too far. Maybe then we can get split because of the weakness. So yeah, 3-10, a very, very good move. Also other possibilities are there, I don't know, but this looks very, very proper. Let's go back a few moves, and let's see this Joseki. White attaches, it's also a Joseki move. Black gets into the corner. And now how would you play on the top side? No need to play on the top side, or if we play on the top side, then better to play next to that stone, not next to this group. Because the group is already alive. It's not just strong, it is completely alive. It has sure base there. So adding a move to such a group would be a waste. So this leads us to the most important rule to remember, that we play the extension to not just to make points. We play the extension maybe most importantly to strengthen a weak stone or a weak group. And then the extension has a double value. It also brings some points, but it also has this strategical, serves the strategical goal of saving a weak group. And good to remember about this, because sometimes even when I see games of Dan players, it sometimes happens that they would extend from a group which is already alive. If a group is alive, it doesn't need any additional points. We can help rather stones which are not completely safe yet. Okay, let's take a look at two Joseki shapes. One this Joseki, and the other one like so. where is better to play, on the top side or on the bottom side. Yes, that group is not completely safe yet, and that is safe. So if we play this move, we not only create something, maybe a moyo, maybe a territory, but also we help stones which might get weak. And here, the only goal we reach is building a moyo. Here, two goals at the same time. Yes, this move is more important. Would you play this or somewhere else? If playing on the bottom side, where is the exact spot?
One move to the left.
One to the left. Why is it so?
Because it makes better safe for my black invading.
So we might be a bit concerned what happens after black invades. How would you react to such an invasion?
Either Tenuki or there's a Hane on the second line.
Hane on the second line, Maybe we can Hane and then how do we continue?
And then second line on this side. I don't know what to call that.
Yeah. So we can lean on this corner of black. So we are not trying to attack this stone, not trying to connect our stones by playing an attachment, but just think, okay, let me just try to strengthen this group and this will be fine. Yeah, and that's a very important lesson. Before we saw these extensions like here, and then we can always connect, or extension from a one stone, and then we can always connect. But right now we have a wall. Our opponent invades, and we are not trying to connect anymore. If we try, probably it's not possible because the extension is too far. And then, if it's not possible to connect, it's very important to not try to connect. Like this, we can lose a lot. So yeah, maybe better to just take care of this group on its own, and we can do it by leaning on black's group because black's group is a bit thin. Like this. What is a possible continuation here?
Just push through.
Push through. And then what can black do?
Descend in the middle.
Descend.
In the middle of 3 stones.
Here. White Atari.
You capture.
Capture. And white gets strong. It might be when black has already a stone there that actually black will go for this aggressive variation. Let's say white connects, black extends, and now this stone is useful. But maybe white still fights by somehow going out. Or first play this and then go out. So we might get into a fight. But yeah, that's some possibility. Play Hane and then attach. Thank you for mentioning that. Do you
black just let white get on the left side because it's not so easy?
Maybe yes. Maybe on this particular board, it's not scary for black.
I mean, just take the stone.
Just take the stone without even pushing through.
Yeah, just
Yeah. If you don't feel that it's too easy for white, that white just strengthen these stones, then yeah, it's also an option. It's a joseki, not to push through, but also this move. This move is also a joseki. Yes. Does anyone have any other idea how to lean on black's 3 stones? Yeah?
Let's move shoulder hit.
This.
Yeah.
Yes, also possible. And let's say black wants to help the stones and white is already getting stronger. So that was maybe a little bit risky, but the shoulder hit is more simple. And white is getting stronger. Okay, black will run, but yeah, we are not getting points here. But maybe black's group is weaker than our group, or also we are on this particular board, we are getting something out of this because we are not letting black build anything here. So yeah, we don't need to really care that black invaded. Let him have that weak group. All right. Another question. Let's say we have this board and white played mistakenly on the top, and then black, yeah, probably black would attack us, right? We didn't play it. But let's say black added a Kosumi, and then we have another chance to play on the bottom. Then where should we play the move?
Low extension.
Low extension, and which exact? How many
spaces?
3 space?
Yeah.
Aha. So here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So actually, maybe we learned that rule that from 1 stone extend 2 space, from 2 stones extend 3 space, and maybe from 3 stones extend even further. But in fact, it's all relative. If black is weak on the other side, then we might extend so far. But if black is strong, then maybe better to extend just 3 space, just as you suggested. If we extend further, then our stones are not connected anymore. Already, like, extending more than 3 space leaves a hole. Black can go in, and probably it's not possible to really connect from above. White is split, and like this, probably also. White will get split. So yes, if you watch professional games, you will often see that if black already has 2 stones like this or like that, white doesn't play so far. White plays closer, or maybe even closer. 3 space, yes. 3 space is a good distance. Like this, for sure, it will not get split. So we can think of it like this: as our strength depends on who is on our back, and if at our back there is a big guy who is taller than us and he's just looking at us from above, then we should be more conservative and just make sure that we don't leave weakness. I have one similar example in mind. One of very common openings, I think quite often seen in professional games these days. Can you guess where would be the next knight move?
Star point on the right.
Star point, yeah, but there are 2. Sorry, I wanted a normal large knight's move. So this is a classical move, and then there is another star point on the right, this attachment, also often seen these days, after which white could get a wall. Maybe play this asking move, and then push, push, push many times. Maybe even one more time, white has a right to push and black will just extend. Okay, so white has a wall, it seems, here, and also a little wall here. And how do you think? Where is the best next move of white?
White jumps to the left from the bottom 3 stones.
To the left, like this.
Yeah.
Okay, so good. We have one suggestion. Other? Yes?
2 space or 3 space extension
Where exactly?
from the top.
Like
2 of maybe.
this?
I would suggest one down this start point.
Star point, Like this is a shape which we see very often, right? After this joseki, we often see this star point. So we are really tempted to play this move. Also, it's a dot. It's a special point. Yes, so feels good. But I'm very happy that we also got that suggestion. It sounds reasonable if we treat that as a wall, and this also strong. Then maybe we don't need to spend a move. We can just build a tower. Next floor of the tower, and it grows. But in fact, this wall is not strong. Not only on the back there is a taller guy, he has a head higher than our head, also the guy is standing more strongly in the ground. So it is just from both sides, and from above and from below, it is attacking us. And once black gets another move, this group becomes very weak, very thin. So in fact, it is needed to add a move on this side. And then where exactly to place the move? it kind of depends which of the groups we consider weaker. And it might seem that, oh, here there are so many stones, so we should rather play a bit closer to these. But in fact, if you look at what AI says, it suggests rather a little bit better to play closer to those stones. All these moves are possible and good, and they are none of them is a mistake. But after this move, black can immediately try to invade, and then what can white do? If white plays from above, then black can just connect. So it won't be points because of this move on the second line, this stone on the second line. And if white splits, then it's possible for black to start a fight. And this might be a little weak group. So it's an annoying spot. Well, it's possible to play like this. It's not a mistake to play this move, but if you play that one, you are less afraid of this invasion because there is no possibility of connecting on the second line. So yeah, all these moves are good, but a little bit better to play a bit closer to these stones. They are in fact thinner. So we said that from one stone we should extend 2 space, but maybe often you see that actually players would choose a further extension, like this or that, not necessarily a 2 space. So why is it the case? How do you think? Why from this stone often white would extend further?
Balance between third and fourth line.
Okay, yes, balance between third and fourth. So maybe we can also play here on the fourth line. And also, this move has a bit different characteristic than the third line move. If black invades, we can still try to cover. And maybe we connect all our stones. One of Joseki's, one of the most common Joseki's here, is like this. Even though there are 2 cutting points, black cannot really use them right now, and white ends up connected. But black destroys white's potential territory. And after this move, we don't really have that possibility of covering. This would be a mistake to attach here, because it's very easy for black to get out. And even if white manages to connect everything, the prize is too big. We don't want to give such a ponuki to our opponent. But still, both moves are in use. Both this and that. So why would we play 3 space extension and not 2 space extension?
Because if you play the 2 space and then you kick, you immediately become over-concentrated.
Aha, yes. This is one explanation. Good. So we want to avoid the situation where we have a 2 space extension from 2 stones. But is it enough of a reason to play such an unsafe 3 space extension? Aren't we scared of black's invasion?
No, because then you just take...
Just as before we talked about that if there is a strong guy on our back, then we should beware and we should maybe play a closer extension. Here it is about something a little bit different. It is the question of whether we can still go in the other direction and still get some base. And here this is the case. After black invades, both in this and in this shape, very often instead of playing any move here, white would just go into the corner. Very common move. And let's say black tries to put some pressure on white. Where would you play the next move as white?
Connect on the left.
Connect here. The group doesn't have 2 eyes yet. Maybe you can just live in the corner. And all right, black will split you, but this stone is sacrificed, but in exchange you get a big corner. Also a possibility. So you can treat this stone lightly, and this is why you are not afraid of your opponent splitting it. Thanks to that corner, you can extend 3 space. But if it looked differently, for example, if we have a 3-3 point, white goes here and black goes here, then probably you shouldn't go there. Now it's much more problematic when black goes in. you don't really have space to live in the corner, and you don't want to play attachments. Attachments are rather not good, rarely used. What else can you do?
Kosumi from the right side.
Kosumi from the right side, like this.
Yeah.
Yes, like this you get out, but you are split. So that's a bit unfortunate. Maybe this is not the most common shape, like we don't play 3-3 point that often, but it's good to understand that with the 3-3 point, we probably, if we approach so close, we probably want to play now 2-space extension and be on the safe side. And then, how about this move? Again, we often play that one, and if our opponent answers with, let's say, with Kosumi, often in the professional games you will see a 2-space extension. If it is further, then the move of black is a little bit annoying. There is some space in the corner, so it's not tragic. We can still go there, or I don't know. Maybe for now let's not care about it, and in the future we will have that option. But it feels a bit uncomfortable. So often in the professional games you will see this move. And by the way, you said before that in this shape we don't want to play a 2-space extension because we don't want our opponent to kick and then finish with a 2-space extension from 2 stones. And how about this shape? Does this argument still work? What if black now kicks?
Another 2-space extension.
Yeah, so as Scott says, now we don't really have to answer, we can just play away, make sure that this stone has a friend, and we can look at it like this. Oh, sorry, 2-space extension, you said, yes. We can look at it like this. Black had a Shimari, we just place 2 stones, and then this exchange, maybe good for white. We push black a bit into his own corner. So we don't need to answer this kick. But why? Why now we don't need to answer? And sorry, I will just put it in the other corner. And here we thought that we have to answer. What is the difference between these 2 corners?
If black plays on top of the one white stone, it removes the 3-3 RG almost completely.
Yes, yes. So in this corner there is no agi, but in this corner there is still agi after white's move. So in this corner also, if black removes the agi, there is a lot of points. But in that corner, if black remove there is no agi. If black just adds another move, well, there is a lot of points, but not as much as here. That's why here it's much more important to extend than there. Here we don't have to answer to black. And let's take a look at one more common shape. Black often plays the knight's move, and then where is white's extension? Often 3-space. Often 3-space. If you watch professional games, then probably you saw this move quite often. And why not this? Maybe after this move and black's kick, now we feel a bit more urged to answer, because if black adds one more move, black's corner is already bigger than here, right? So black's stones are more efficient. On the other hand, after we answer, there is some agi left. So it's a different story than with the Kosumi. Yeah. So we don't want to get cramped like this. This is one reason. And then another reason is that even after black invades, we have more space in the corner than if the stone was there. Because we can attach, play here, and probably black still answers. And in that shape, after our move, well, certainly black can Atari and then connect. So if it's a knight's move and not a Kosumi, not a diagonal move, then there is more space, so we can afford playing a bit further. We will take a look at 3 common Joseki. Common Joseki like this. Like that. One Joseki like this. So we have talked already before that with this 3-space extension it's impossible to split white stones. So what is the way to somehow annoy white, to attack such a shape? 12-2. This one. Yes, this placement. So we can play this placement in this shape and maybe also in this shape, the same placement, and maybe also in that shape. And do you know the differences how it would work in these 3 shapes? What is the idea behind such a placement? If white plays from above, let's say this move or this move, we can connect. Our territory grows, white stayed connected, but white's territory got erased. So maybe a success for white. On the other hand, if white splits us, then our great 3-space extension, which cannot be ever cut, already starts to look like it's a little bit split. So that's a very annoying move. Yeah. The most common answers are, this one with just lets black live, that one after which black will go out and then we can try to fight, and there is also this attachment after which where will black play? Hane, yes. Which Hane? Now black will not get fooled and will not play this Hane. White, black will be pushed down to the first line, and this will be happy for white. Black still needs to add a move, and white certainly got much better result than if white played Kosumi and black played this. Plays that with the hope that black still just is happy and connects, but in fact, black has a stronger move. Black can play Hane here. Alright, but this is the common continuation, and in this shape, black will be very happy with this continuation because the Aji at 3-3 got erased. So this is something black really hopes for. On the other hand, in this shape, if we get the same result, that's not as painful for white because black doesn't erase any Aji by connecting the stones, and black's corner will not be as big as it is there, right? Because it is pushed a bit to the third line here. So if black plays the annoying placement in this Joseki, then we can go for such variations. But there, it is probably unacceptable because black will just get a very big corner. Right? And what should white do instead of playing this move? First,
The exchange.
play this exchange. Yeah. Right now, black cannot connect because black's shape is too thin. After this cut, black's shape just breaks into pieces. So black will connect, and now white goes to for the continuation which we talked about. Tap, 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 tap. And this is a common Joseki, and good that we exchanged this because now it would be too late. If now we play here, then black would play there. But we did it before, so black has one less point of territory. And this is an important point. 1 point just for free. What you can remember is that in this shape, you are comfortable. There is no Aji in the corner, so you don't have to necessarily split black and start a fight. You can just choose, like play this move and then choose the peaceful variation. In that corner, it's a different story because you don't want black to just connect, so you would rather think of splitting black and starting a fight. And how about this corner?
Same as the bottom left corner.
Same as the bottom left, we can just give because there is no Aji in the corner, and even if black connects, it's not super big. Yes, that's reasonable, makes sense. Maybe white can do better.
Same exchange.
Aha.
Just exchange star point first.
Exchange which?
Star point.
Star point. Aha. Play the exchange and then play that one. All right. Yes, that would be very similar to this, but in fact, this shape differs from both this and that. Yes, there is no agi in the corner, and the corner is rather small, just like here, but in this corner, white cannot do any center exchange which will affect this stone, but in that, white can. White can play Hane and Kosumi. And if black captures the stone, well, yeah, black can connect, but black is pushed to the first line. So this is not very interesting for black. And if black starts a fight, white gets a base and destroys black's base in the corner. The conclusion is, in this shape, black's placement is not so scary, because we can lean on that poor corner of black and then get a better continuation. So play here, maybe even Atari once more, and then play from the other side. On the other hand, after this placement, well, you can play like this, but black will ignore it. And how about that corner? Can white play this and then that?
Are you risking the agi?
Yes. So white could, but that's not worth it, because then black would be just already happy that Sansan invasion, agi of the Sansan invasion disappeared. So maybe now black just captures the one stone of white, and white is already happy with the result. So unfortunately, in this Joseki, we are kind of forced to fight, and probably fight like this, or as Scott said, we can use a Sansan invasion, play this exchange first, and then invade in Sansan, so that black cannot really connect, or even if black tries to connect, we still have a wedge. I don't know how it goes further. It's very complicated. So we learned about the weakness of the three-space extension like this. Does this one have a weakness? Let's say we have a fuseki. We have an opening like that. So this one has a little weakness, and white can just accept it. Okay, you connect, but I get the outside. Does this one have any weakness? Mm-hmm.
When black has a pincer.
Yes, when black has an additional stone, it has a weakness. For now, it's just strong. This is more solid than that one. For now, if black, for example, plays this move, we can play from above. And remember, we are not scared of black crawling on the first line. Crawling on the first line is not a success for black. It's not a great reduction. And if black plays this, then we already know that we can just go from above. But if black has another stone, then already a weakness starts to appear. And what exactly the weakness is? Black can play this move, white will play from above, and then
Descend the second one.
yeah, so then there are a few options. There are old school options and the more modern options. One of the moves is descend to the second line. If white tries to split black, black can connect here, or maybe even try to cut white. So probably white will just play from above, and then hooray, black managed to connect. So we are getting a bit similar shape to that one we talked about before, right? Black manages to connect. But white has the outside and white has center, and also maybe that stone is not the most interesting. It's a good move, yes. Other moves? Cut here. And there is also that move, which is very similar to descend to the second line. We can play like this and connect. But again, white will get strong. But there is another possibility, which Scott tells us about. We can try to cut, and then Atari, pull back. And if white captures one stone, black is already happy with the result. Maybe black adds one more move. Here is some empty triangle, not beautiful shape. Black got the outside, in fact, white is not completely alive, right? Or, right? Black can play like this and then that. So white's shape is not perfect. What white could do is go further with this move or with that move. And then the Joseki goes like this. Black goes down. If white plays here, then black can already destroy the other stones, so white needs to play from the other side. And then black plays a little squeeze. This is a Joseki. And this is the weakness which is in the low extension. Alright, so we covered quite many variations, but the variations are not as important as the things which we covered in the very beginning. If your group is strong, it doesn't need an extension. And how strong is your group is defined by who is on your back. Remember, if that guy is taller than you and also is more in the ground than you, then you should extend closer, even if it's a wall of 6 stones. Yeah. So I think that's it for today, and tomorrow we will meet again at similar time. Yes?
So does white need to add one more stone there to live at the end?
Here?
Yeah.
So what is the problem
If
with
black just connects down, then the groups are separated.
like this?
Yeah.
Black cannot connect.
Oh, okay.
Black can. It's a big endgame. Yes, it's a big endgame, and black will play it probably. But white is connected, so white finishes this variation in center. All right. Yes, another question.
If you go back to the 3-4 low approach.
3-4 low approach Kusumi.
Yes.
This we covered. Yes.
Right. So, question for your crystal ball. If we had this lecture 25 years ago, the answer would have been 2-space extension.
The answer would have been
2-space extension.
you mean 3
No,
or 2?
2.
2.
If we had this lecture 10 years ago, it would have been 3-space extension.
Yes.
Now it's back to 2-space
Yes.
extension.
Yes.
What do you think is your lecture going to be in 10 years?
So, like, you know, in the opening, we cannot really be sure by ourselves what is the best move, because people were just the humanity was exploring all the variations and then getting new ideas, but all the time we just thought, okay, this is good for that, this is good for that player, and this is even. And you are learning Go, you are listening to what the top professionals say, and you just take it as it is given, and you just believe it. It's like a religion. So in the opening, you have only 2 tools you can use. One is the religion you have from the top professionals, and the other is your own skill of tewari, of changing the order of moves, and then comparing something you don't know to something you do know, and you know how it is judged. But all the times we had these false prophets, or how are they called? Just people were thinking that maybe this, maybe that. Now with the AI, it seems that we got like the real God came to the earth and told us, this is good for white, that is good for black. So now we can already trust that probably this move is a big difference, but tiny little bit better. And then with this real religion, we can already compare our other variations to these which we know. So with that, rather 2-space extension, and for example with this, surely 2-space extension. If 3-space and there is already no place in the corner, the opponent will go in, then this is a difference. Okay, thanks for the question. Very nice one.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.